Hey guys, how are y'all doing today? Looks like I've got a good internet connection. Yay! Once again, we're in luck. So, okay, Kelly, that's just bragging, and we don't like you very much right now. It's a little chilly here, and I have to have my fan on because I've been sublimating, and there's a distinct odor that's with this. It's kind of like ozone is being removed from your house. It's a little weird smell. So, say hi, say where you're from. Thank you guys for popping in today and joining me. Um, we do have some questions, and I'll have to go look and remember what they are. What did I say we were going to do today? I, I can answer the first. I can answer one of them real quick. So thanks, guys, for popping in. I don't actually hate you. I'm just very jealous that it's that warm for you today and not that warm for us today. It's actually not too bad. It's just got a cold northerly breeze, and we're supposed to get part of that little clipper system popping down. Back patio, Christy, that is not fun. That's not fair. That's just not fair. Although I'm sure that my weather is lovely compared to my the rest of the Wisconsin family that we have. So, um, one of the questions that came in was how to convert a PES file into a PNG file. Now, I'm not sure if you were in P Design. I don't remember that one off the top of my head. I'd have to look and see. Oh, I'm so sorry you're feeling bad. Hopefully you'll get to feeling better. Maybe a little time off will take care of that and watching software fun, right? So I think she was in PE design. Couching designs. Michael, I'm pretty sure I did a couching design recently. Yes, you can create couching designs in PE design. I did, trying to remember. I know I've done an episode on that. I would have to go back and review where that is, but and I have to think about my settings on that one. So if you'll give me a little bit, I'll pull. I know I have a couching design on my computer. I'm pretty sure I can probably pull something up and play with that. Okay, so PES into a PNG. In P design, there's really not a way to automatically do that. In BES, in BES4, and in BES Blue, there is a way to do that. Let me share my screen. I'll show you what I do if I'm in P design, just so you know. It's on every Windows computer, and I think you'll find it pretty easy. So if I wanted to bring in a file, pick a file, any file, it doesn't matter. Okay. And I want to turn that into a PNG file so that somebody can view it. I can simply go to the search window on my Windows computer and type in snip, and there is a snipping tool. From there, you choose new, draw a rectangle or a square or whatever you need to go around your design, and it has taken a picture of it. Then click on the snipping tool. There's your picture, and you can go save, and you can choose what format you want to save it in. Okay. I usually do PNG, so that would be how you do it, and that's the easiest way that you can do it. Okay. So that would be what I would say. If you are in BES or BES Blue, I keep mine. The snipping tool is attached to my desktop as well. If you look down here at the bottom, here's my snipping tool, and it's always up. It's one of those things that I keep pinned to my taskbar. If you're in BES, let's say we wanted to do one in BES. Now, in BES, what I will tell you is you do want to choose your 3D view, because it does make a difference. And same thing with in P design, I would choose my realistic preview. So the nice thing about BES is I don't have to have the little frame around it. So when you go up to the application menu and you choose export, you can choose export image, and then you can export that as a PNG file right there. Okay, so those are the two ways that you can get a PNG file, depending on which program you're using. This is BES4, but BES Blue will do the same thing. Okay. Split design was the other one. Okay. So if I have, let me find something that I have that maybe, okay, well, I'll give y'all a little preview maybe of something that's coming. How's that? Let's say I am in my largest hoop, which is the 272 by 408. Okay, that is my 10 and 5/8 by 16-inch hoop. I needed to know that for my reference down here. Don't have to pick that first. I just needed to have it in my brain. You choose custom size, and then you choose section size for hoop, which would be the largest one down here. It's 10 millimeters smaller on both sides than the original. You can see the original sizes out here. And yes, do this in metric. If you do it in metric, you'll have much better results because you'll get the entire frame. Inches is not the entire frame. So we're going to choose 262 by 398. We are not going to use smaller section sizes. And then you scroll it until the white space fills the red, depending on how many you want. You can only go up to 1,000 millimeters. So once you hit 1,000 millimeters, you're done. And you can do 2 across, you can do 3 across, you can do 4 across, and you can do maybe 2 down. 3 down would be more than 1,000 millimeters. So let's say we've got that right there. There we go. So then you say, okay, and it's made that is your hoop. Okay. So this is one hoop section, a second hoop section, a third, and a fourth. So I've got 4 sections for this. I'm going to come in and draw a shape. I'm going to get out of realistic preview so things go a little bit faster, and we'll choose a decorative fill. And I'm going to come in here and draw myself a rectangle with that decorative fill. There we go. You could choose which decorative fill you want. Oh, let me tap that and get that back on the import menu. There we go. Come and pick yourself a decorative fill that you like. Click OK. If you don't want an outline around it, you can turn that off. And then if you look in the design properties down here, or you can go up to the application button and choose design properties. This is hoop number 1. That red color is going to be a basting stitch that's sewn at the end of each segment. That is how you line it. It also sews at the beginning of the next segment and the end of it so that you can align it. Same thing. So that is how you get one split and ready to go. It's pretty simple. You just have to kind of, now when I go to stitch mine out, I stitch it on adhesive wash away stabilizer. That's my personally preferred method. And the reason I do that is because I can stitch the basting stitch onto the stabilizer and then line up the second piece. I never cut it completely away for the second section. That way it doesn't suck in, but you can match your basting sections up that way. So that would be one of the things that I suggest you do. But float any stabilizer that you want to stay with it underneath it. Okay. Let's see here. You too, Sharon. Thanks for stopping by. It was a joy talking to you. Unfortunately, I don't think I got a picture of us. When I start the second box, does it start at the top or the center? It starts at the top. So the actual stitching will be random. To be perfectly honest, it will be totally random. What you do is, I need to turn off my fan. Sorry, I'm freezing. Hold on. It's helping with the stink, but it's making me freeze. So it will stitch the basting stitch. You align your basting stitch up, and then I fast forward to the first stitch to make sure that it's going to match up. If it's not, you can always lift and shift since you're going onto adhesive stabilizer. That would be my preferred method of doing it. Yes, this refers to every machine. Yes, if you've got a 5x7 machine, you can do the same thing. 6x10, the same thing. If I go back over to the software, let's say we wanted this, and I'm going to change this out. Let's go back to our custom hoop size. If I come down here and I choose a 5x7-inch hoop, that's the 130 by 180. I could do it in a 4x4. most people don't have, oh, we can make it actually a little bit bigger here. There's going to be a lot of rehoopings in this one. I think the max I've done is 6, personally. And that was way more than I wanted to do. So here you go. This one has now been divided up for you, and it's in your 5x7 hoop. So that's the first section. Here's the second section, third section, fourth section. It works for any hoop that brother has. So, excuse me, I take that back. The teeny tiny itty bitty hoop that we have, this one, the little 2 5/8 or something by 3 inches, it does not, or the 1 3/8 by 2 and something, it does not work for that one, but it works for anything from the 4x4 to everything else. Yes, Christy, I've been playing with the sublimation printer, and so this is my new mug press. I have had quite a bit of fun. So this was my first try at a mug. This is what it prints like. So it's backwards, and this is what it turns out like. Okay. It's duller when you print it, and it's brighter when you actually press it on. So just something for y'all to keep in mind, just so y'all know that I'm not perfect. Notice anything wrong about this cup? I did not pay attention when I was pressing this one on, when I was taping it on. This is what it's supposed to look like. I think my husband will get to actually carry this one because it's funny. Had a blast with that one. So that was my oopsie. Yes, that was lots of fun. I enjoyed it. And somebody asked about whether I use about the actual item itself. So, and I'll talk about that just a little bit. So this design right here is off Creative Fabrica, and it is a mug wrap right off of Creative Fabrica. And you basically, so it prints out. This is not off, the sewing machine is off Creative Fabrica, but I've actually made this into a mug wrap using the same dimensions. This gave me the dimensions that I needed to know what I needed to put on there. So keep that in mind. Once you've got the dimensions, you can create whatever you want. I have not printed anything out of Artspira at this point. I've done everything on my computer because I wanted to do something I wanted to do, not something that they wanted me to do. So I've had more fun playing with my computer. I do not play pickleball. My husband is a pickleball fiend. He plays every weekend if it's sunny. Doesn't matter if it's what am I trying to say? Doesn't matter if it's 30 degrees or if it's 75 or 100 out there. He plays pickleball every Saturday and Sunday if he can. You can use other brands of paper in the sublimation printer. It just has to be sublimation paper. I have not tried that yet. I've got some to try just to see if there's a difference between theirs and ours. I will say I'm getting beautiful colors. I'm truly getting beautiful colors. What I will tell you is that ask me not next week, but the week after, how my sublimation spray goes. It works best. So sublimation itself works best on an item that's been coated for sublimation, okay? Or pure polyester. So this is a polyester pure poly shirt. I couldn't resist. I saw this one on Creative Fabrica and I couldn't resist. So this is nice and bright. This one, on the other hand, although still lovely, is on a 50% cotton shirt. So it does not absorb the ink as much. I bought a spray that's supposed to help with that. And so I will let you know how that works. And I'll let you know which spray I end up using if it works. So I wanted to be able to, I want to be able to practice and play. So right now, when I play, I do things I want to do. I don't do things that are expected of me. And that's how I bond with my machines. I mean, I dove right into doing this. I mean, my first mug, this one right here, that press was beeping at me and I couldn't figure out why because the temperature was right. The counter wasn't working and it was beeping at me. There's a little button on the side of it that's nowhere in the manual that tells you that's how you start your counter and that's how you get it to stop beeping. So, you know, I thought I was Googling things to do. I guess it was Saturday night and I was sitting there giggling. I just started bursting out loud when I saw that one. I'm like, okay, you've got to have this one. You got a DTG printer too. So you should have enough print. You should have some good toys to play with till the day you die. Yes. So that was fun. I've enjoyed that. The Christmas ones, hopefully none of my family is watching because we are doing St. Louis Christmas. So I'm making them shirts. But I decided to practice on one that was 50-50 because we kind of liked it. And we'll see what happens. All right. So the next question I'm trying to remember. Hold on. That was up here and that was how to do couching stitches. Okay. Let me go back to a standard hoop. And let's just hit the default. And we will delete this. Let me see if I can find a couching design on my computer real quick that I've created. I should have one. Give me just a sec. You'd think I would organize this. It may be on my other computer, so I may be out of luck and we may have to just deal with it and I'll play it by ear, but I'm looking to see if I have one on here. Usually I have one somewhere, but it would say couching on it. So it's not in that folder. Nope. Okay. So I cry uncle. We'll just wing it and show you what I've got. Okay. So let's say we just do a circle, just out of habit. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to turn off my fill for now. And I'm going to change this to a chain stitch, or you could do a motif stitch. I'm going to go with the chain stitch. Or you could go with the light zigzag. So this is with a chain stitch, this is what it looks like. And you can increase that width if you want to give it more coverage. You don't need it to run 5 times. You can have it run down to 1 and that will catch it. Okay. So that's an easy way. The other way that I like is I kind of like a light zigzag instead without undersewing. So if I come and change my zigzag width not the width, the density. Change your density down. I'm trying to remember how far down I went. That right there is probably pretty good. And I would increase my width to about 4. Okay. So that would be a basic way to do one. You might go down even further than that because you really don't need to, it doesn't need to have a ton of stitches down there. But what I like to do, I will say I like to do this. I like to do a spiral stitch without an outline. I like to decrease that density. And then convert region to line. Actually, I want it up a little bit further than that. I liked filled ones. And then if you convert region to line, then you can come in and change that to either your chain stitch or your zigzag stitch. And both of those turn out really nice. Okay. Both of I mean, that's a good way to try it. Let's see here. Patty, yes, there is a different hoop, okay, that has for those 5x7 machines, and those are listed with the asterisks down here. So there's a 4x12 inch hoop and a 5 by, there's a 4 by something, 172. There's a 4 by, shoot, I don't even know how big that one is. I'd have to think. Hold on. Let's go to inches and see how big that is. There's a 4 by 6 3/4 and a 5 by 12-inch hoop. That is a 3-position hoop. So for that one, I can't have a design split in one of the 5 by 7 sections. It has to fit in each of the design itself has to fit in each of the 5 by 7 sections. Okay. Having said that, if you do text across it, it will split your text up for you. It has to be each part of your design has to fit within one of those sections if you're using one of the smaller machines. So you see the red outline, that's the hoop position 1, here's hoop position 2, and here's hoop position 3. I usually make sure things fit in 1 and in 3 so that I only have to go twice, that I only have to move it twice. Okay, let's see here. All right, so the other question that came in was about searching for designs in the design database. Now, that is a, if you don't have your designs named and you don't know what their names are, searching is going to be somewhat of a challenge. You have to know the names, or you have to know the date that they were created. You have to know something about them. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to search. There's not going to be searchable terms for it. Also, if you are wanting to search something and if you open it in P-Design, if you will come into your design properties and fill in this information right here and resave the design, these keywords right here become searchable. Also, your category becomes searchable. You can also put in the design name that would be searchable. All of that will help. If you know how many colors something is, that also helps narrow it down. But let's say I come in here and I put in floral spray, flowers, just in case I forget, pink flowers. I say okay, and I go back and I do file, save as, and I'm going to save this as pink flower. Okay, so now when I go up to my options and design database, and I come up to the drive that I'm planning on searching. So if it's on my C drive, I pick my C drive, go up to the file pull down menu and choose search or Control F, or you could have right mouse clicked on the drive and chose search. You can search by file name, you can search by format, or if you choose format and PES, you can then go in and say keywords. So let's say I say flower, because that was one of the things I put in there, right? Flower, floral spray. You can then search, and it will search everywhere on your computer to find it. While it's doing that, let me show you another thing that you need to know. If you have PE Design 11 on your computer, and you have, if you go into your View tab, so normally when you open up a file, it looks like this. You've got your blue flowers, and that's pretty much all you've got. But if you go to the View tab or go to the View area and choose medium, large, or extra large icons, you can actually see those stitch files. So it will give you those stitch files for you to be able to view. Just keep that in mind. It knows PES files. Because you'll see it's not noticing, it doesn't know my BRF files, but it does see my PES files. So that's an easy way for you to be able to view your PES files. Okay. Then you can cut, copy, and paste and move them where you want to as well. So if you like working in Windows better, you can certainly do that. Mine's going to take a while to search. I've got a ton of stuff on my computer. Y'all know that. So let's see here. So yes, you can do that kind of. Hold on. Let's let this finish doing its thing, and then I'll go back to that. You and me both, and I wish I had done it when truly when every time I go to a new computer, things just go nuts. So I know where things are myself for the most part, except for like I'm looking for a couching design. I probably have named it couching, and if I go searching for couching designs, I probably find it if it's on this computer. I work off of 3 different computers, so it may or may not be there. I've got a new computer that I'm traveling with, and I'm still traveling with the old computer as well, trying to get things moving over. So, it is what it is. I'm not a good person when it comes to that. Okay. So, oh, wait a minute, guys. I searched the wrong drive. So it didn't find anything. Let's try it again. Search my C drive. It's not there. It's on the D drive. Didn't pay attention. I do use Dropbox as well, but I do not sync on Dropbox because that double copies me on everything. So I'd run out of space. All right. Why are you not finding that? Huh. Oh, well, okay, wait a minute. Let's try it one more time. And we will just search. And I'll search flower. Instead of, there we go. Evidently, I didn't have floral. I must have had floral spray somehow there. So there's my pink flower that it found. Now, what was the question that I said I'd come back to here? Oh, how to print areas. Okay, so how to print design databases here. Let's come in here and let's do this name drops folder. So if I go up to my file and I say create image file in HTML, you can choose 1 design per page, 8 per page, or 12 per page. And we'll call this one name drops. And I need to tell it where I want it to go. So where is that? This is in my Facebook Live folder. And it's in the name drop folder, so we'll put it right there. Name drops test. So we'll save that and let's see what we get. You will not be able to view it in there. We'll have to go find it here. Facebook Live files, name drops. And it will be this little guy right here. This is what it looks like. So it does not give me my total numbers of colors. I mean, it doesn't give me my colors that I have there. Okay, if I want it to give me the color information, there is another route to go. You can go File, Create CSV File. And we can call this Name Drops Test again. So that also is going to create a file that's outside of this, and it's going to be a CSV file. There it is. So these are your file names. These are your colors. And then you could come in and drop those pictures that you have in there. There was a way just to get the thumbnails. Trying to remember what that was. If you have my workbook, I've walked you through all of this. But that would, I mean, that's pretty much the best you can do. But that create image file in HTML. So this was where I was going to show you. So if I go back here to name drops, Name drops test. Here we go. Oh, these are all JPEGs. So here's number 1. So if I copy that, I can come into my CSV file and I can insert a folder, insert a column, and I can paste, don't show. I should be able to paste that picture in there. I cancel. Hold on. Evidently, I didn't pull it up very good. Thought I copied it. Not going to let me paste that. Huh. Interesting. So there is a way to do that. Let's see if I can pull it from here. Where did it open up? Photoshop. Where'd you go? Here we go. Let's select this and copy it. Now come over here. There we go. So you can put it, you can actually do that and put them in there if you want. That's number 1. It's a workaround. It's not ideal. Okay. So it's a workaround. It's not ideal. The way I would personally do things is this. You're not going to get it realistic view, but if you go file and you choose print preview, there you go. If I close that, I say file and I go print setup. I can choose 1 design per page, 2 per page, 4 per page, 12 per page. Print preview. There you go. That's what you wanted. My brain just had to re-engage. That gives you those files, the file name. It's going to be an abbreviated name the more you have on a page. So if I change that to this number, 4 per page, you pretty much get the full file name. Okay. So you can then print that out. Brain had to re-engage. Sorry, wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. So yes, it's in your PE Design software in the design database, and that may be in design database transfer. Let's see. Oops. I think it actually is in design database transfer as well. So if I came up here and I wanted to print that file, print setup. Yep. There you go. So it is in both software programs there. You could print it to PDF as well. So if you have a PDF printer installed on your computer, which I do, I could print it to PDF. Both of them will work. Okay. All right. Trying to think. Other questions? So, no. All right. I'll show you a little bit about how I did the wrap, just so you can kind of get an idea of if you wanted to do your own. I am working in other software, just so you know. I'm working in, what have I got here? This is Photoshop. So I'm in Photoshop. Sometimes I use Corel. But if you do File, New, and you create a custom file, and it's about 8.23 by 9.29. I've got the exact dimensions somewhere, but you choose Create. And then what I did was I pulled in SVGs that I had found on Creative Fabrica. So I placed a linked file. And I went and found that file, which would be in my downloads. So here's my pickleball bundle. Let's see what's 5. Oh, why did that not give me? Oh, fiddle-dee-dee. Hold on. I want to know which one I want. Downloads. Don't want King. All right, let's do this one because that's what I did. Okay, so it's number 8. Photoshop. And here's my SVG file. Then you can bring it and make it whatever size you want it to be. What I didn't like about this software program is that I didn't have, at least I am not smart enough yet to have figured out how to replicate this to where it doesn't make every single design a separate layer. So I ended up copying and pasting. So I went edit. Actually, I've got to come up here and grab that little tool and go edit, copy, and then paste. Oops. Come on. Well, fiddly-dee. And then paste again. And then I grabbed those 3 pieces over here, and I went up here and I said distribute horizontally so that I knew that they were spaced apart horizontally. And then I grabbed all 3 of those. And I went up to edit, and then I copied, and then I edited, and I pasted. And then I pasted again. And it'll tell you when you've got them all about the same space. Undo. So there we go. Then I went in and I put a rectangle in the background. Yeah, I know. I'm just not paying attention to my computer. Okay, so here's my rectangle. And on that, I changed its color to something like blue, I do believe. Come on. Oh, it's over here. There we go. Why are you not? Oh, because I've got gradient on here. And it's in a different position here than it was. New to gradient fill layer. And you can play, but I want that color to be different. Aha. Blues. And that's how I ended up doing this. And then I moved that layer to the back. Except for it does help it if you get it all the way to the bottom. And that's how I did that little trick. So, although I think I did 3. Is there a way to delete? Let's see here. Vicki, if you go into a folder, let me make one. Hold on a second. Let me go to BES for a second, and I'll create a folder and do this. So there's a batch converter in here, and so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose Brother PES files, and we'll send them to a few different formats here. Actually, wait a minute. I don't even have to do that. Let's go to the cookie designs. See, I've got all of these. If you simply pick everything besides PES, I can highlight those. I can hold my control key down and highlight the rest of them. And then you can press delete, and all I've got left is a PES. So if you're in Windows, And File Explorer, if you're in a folder, where would that be? View Details, and you should be able to sort by format, by type. So if you had multiples that were DSTs, PES, whatever, you should be able to select those and just delete them. So all of your PES files should get grouped together. So they should all get grouped together if you sort them by type, and that should be able to allow you to do that. Conversion. Oh, hold on, Shirley. Oh, it was the one with stained glass window looking. Okay. Hold on. There is not a way to make your computer, at least I don't know of a way to make your computer default to large icons. The only time I have to make it do that is the first time I open the folder. After that, it defaults to that. So there shouldn't be, it shouldn't make you do it every single time you do it. Just every time you open that specific folder, the first time you open a folder, it defaults to a different view. Let's look and see if we can change the default view. Hold on. I don't know of a way to change your default view. Let's see here, options, view. There you go. No, that's icons, never thumbnails. We want thumbnails. I do not see a default. Ah, and you can also have it display the file icon on the thumbnails. Let's see here what that does. So that gives me that little guy right there. So for what I can find, I could not find a thumbnail to do that. So, all right, let me go back in here. So she wanted kind of a stained glass window look. All right. Oh, hello. That's lovely. I'm trying to remember what I told you. Oh, motif stitch. Motif stitch. Come change it to the line. And you can change your horizontal spacing to where your rows get closer together. Oh, wait a minute. Not horizontal, vertical spacing. And then I do my vertical offset and make it less. It won't let me go less than that. Weird. Huh. Interesting. But then you can choose manual curve here instead of a straight line. Go to your select tool, select point tool, and you can adjust how that actually works, how the curve goes. That will give you kind of the stained glass. That's as close as I can get you to the stained glass look that you want. If you do instead a light fill stitch without undersewing, and let's make it very, very light. Oh, hold on. Let me change this to where I don't have to go down so many numbers. Make it an edge run, and then you can do that manual curve as well. And there you go. Okay. So that is the difference. The design viewer is simply that. It's a design viewer. I don't have it. That's something that they gave to the customers and they didn't give to us. So we don't have it and we don't have a way to get it. It was a bonus thing that you guys got when you purchased something. You may find that you like it better than you like the other. You know, do you need both? I don't know that you do, but you may get better. You may get different things than what you get with the design database transfer. Design database transfer is how you can wirelessly transfer if you do not have PE Design 11. So that is one of the reasons that you would want to keep that, even if you had Design Viewer, if you wanted to transfer your designs wirelessly and you don't have PE Design 11, then that gives you that capability. Okay. Any other questions? Have I forgotten anything? I'm looking to see. Let me look at my, seems like there was something I was supposed to answer last week and forgot to. I do not remember what that was. So no, somebody asked me to show what the basics of BES Blue do. So that's the other one. BES Blue is basically the base level of BES 4. It has 199 fonts built into it. They are all customizable. It allows you to bring, it has a design viewer in it. So if you come up here to your application window and you choose the browser window, you can click a check mark next to the file folder that you want to look in, and it will show you those files, and you can select one and you can either merge it or open it. Usually if I'm bringing it into software, I am merging it because I like to be able to adjust them. Then you can come in and play. You can add designs to that. There are 800 and something built-in designs. You have accents, you have applique shapes, backgrounds, borders, connectors, designs, frames, all kinds of stuff. So if I want to come into frames, I can come in and pick a frame, and then you can left mouse click and drag around the design. If you left click only, then it inserts the design at its default size. If you left mouse click and drag like I did, you can make it whatever size you want to, but you all saw that I had an error message. I'll show you what that error message means. It means that I have created an area that the satin stitch is too long for it to be able to stitch. And you can tell that right here. If I go into 3D Draw, you see how those sections are missing stitches. So if I come into my green dots here, those. Let's see which ones we actually need to nab. Not that one. It's going to be one of these things. Oh, shoot. Which one is that one? All right, well, I want to tell y'all the easiest way to just do that. Oh, maybe it's here. That's where it is. Nope. So the easiest way is just to come over here and change them all. Change it from a satin to a different fill. Click apply, and it will generate that and change it from a satin stitch to a fill, and you no longer get that error message. So what it's telling you is that you cannot use a satin stitch in that area. If you choose to do so at your own risk, because it's going to delete that area. You're not going to be able to see it. So if you change all of those color segments to that, why did it not do that one? To a different pattern, then you can stitch them. Okay. What else? It has color sort in it. So if you had if you had multiple designs with the same color in it, you can color sort. Let's say I put in Oh, shoot, just undo that. Let's just click and add it. There we go. Now, if I go to my Tools tab and I choose Arrange, I can arrange things on a path. And there are tons of little paths in here that you can choose from. I can arrange things on a circle. And you can choose how many circles you want to, how many items you want around your circle. If you're in a sub menu, I tend not to choose color sort because it's not a smart color sort. I usually click apply with that off and click OK. And then I do my color sort because that way it color sorts smartly and it doesn't do it on areas that it knows it shouldn't. Okay. So you've got the arrange tools. It has a monogramming tool in it, monogramming designer. These are for traditional different monogram styles. If you don't want to use the monogram designer, you also have a monogram text tool that would do it in the standard three little shapes, and there are special fonts that are for monogramming. So if I go to my drop down menu, unfortunately, that's not a message that I can, that's not a file format I can search for. These are your standard regular monograms. Number 12 is the circular monogram. Then you have Abigail monogram, which is, it'll say Abigail monogram on it. You have, oh, there, I sound like I'm moaning and groaning here. I'm trying to remember what the monogram fonts are called in here. Oh, Fancy Runs monogram. That one's one you don't want to do small, just so you know. Intertwined monogram and Modern Angles monogram. So those are outside of the decor monograms. They do not have decors. Well, some of them do. Like this one has a decor with it. But the intertwined does not. So if you choose, depending on what monogram you choose, depends on what you could do. You have alpha mapping. So if you buy fonts from a company, you can map them to where you can use them as keyboard lettering. You can add notes to your designs. If you have the power packs, why are my power packs? Oh, I'm in blue. You don't have power packs in blue. Duh. On the arrange tab, you have distort. These are your arrangement tools. Your tools here will allow you to convert an applique file to a scan and cut file. You can also bring in artwork. So I can bring in an FCM file. Let me go to my drive and let's see here. Trying to find something I want to actually do. If I want to convert this to an applique, I can go to my Tools tab and say Convert to Applique, and there you go. I now have an applique. So, I mean, it gives you some options, and then you can send those pieces out. You can say Scan and Cut. These are your Scan and Cut pieces. Let me come back here and let's make these different colors. So let's make those all like blue, or well, I guess purple is what we're going to make them today. Then our artwork will be a little bit easier to manipulate. So we're not going to save that. We're going to say Scan and Cut. And now you can see you have the purples. So now I can move my purples down. That's my backdrop. There's my foreground. So that's what you can do as well. You can also draw shapes in here to use with your Scan and Cut if you really want to. And you can close that shape. That can be converted to an applique as well. It has a batch conversion program in it to where you can convert multiple designs to different formats all at one time. You can create your own thread palette if you want. I have no desire to do that. You can do word collage. Word collage allows you to pick a shape and type in words. And you tell it to generate it. In BES Blue, you can only do it as stitches. You cannot do it as artwork. I personally prefer horizontal, vertical, and diagonal looks as opposed to any direction. That's my own preference. You can choose any of the fonts in the font menu. You cannot do, what am I trying to say? You cannot do true type fonts. Well, let's see, Linda. We'll try it and see. Oops, my embroidery application stopped working. I evidently made it think too hard. Must have too much stuff open. Got quite a bit open on the desktop here. So you want to know if it recognizes PE11 files. Let me open something up that is PE11. I gotta find one that's, let me make something real quick so that I know it's PE11. So I did that one. Let's see if it does the, let's see if it does this. Is that it? Yep. Does not do it if it's in the 10 5/8 by 10 5/8 inch shape. But let's see if I change that hoop size to 10 5/8 by 10 by 16, it may. Yep. So it doesn't recognize the 10 5/8 by 10 5/8, but it does recognize the 10 5/8 by 16. Okay. Yeah, I usually save mine in a version 11 and then save it in a lower version as well. I would not buy Blue to do that. You have BES4. I would not. You would be buying a lower version of something you already have. I would not do that. Okay. All right. Other questions for me today before I say goodbye, because we are about at our hour, it looks like. So, yes, I touched on the Brother Sublimation printer question. I have everything that I have done from my computer. I have not done anything in the app. So we were talking about this. These are tumblers, and I downloaded the file from Creative Fabrica and printed it out. This is basically the size that it comes in. And if you go back and watch the beginning of it, you'll see the rest of the stuff that I talked about. Okay. I did not do anything in here today because it is a smelly process as far as me goes. And I'm trying to get the smell out of my house today. So, y'all have a good rest of your week. I will not be here next week. You'll have to wait for me to see me on the week after. I'll be taping in Bartlett. So, all right, guys. Y'all have a great time. I already said that. So we'll talk to you later and see you. Have a good rest of the week.